The progressive revolution doesn't stop when the live show ends. Join the home of progressives and become a TYT member today. Click the link below.
In the last debate against Ted Cruz, Beto O'Rourke actually called him Lying Ted, something he had avoided doing previously despite it being teed up for him by the president in the last Republican primary. He was asked about that at last night's town hall, and he seemed to backtrack just a little.
I decided that I could either spend the rest of the debate responding to every single dishonest thing that he said, or I could make sure that everyone understood exactly what he's doing. I said, look, he's dishonest. It's one of the reasons that he got tagged with this nickname, and that nickname resonates because it's true. But I got to tell you, it's not something that I feel totally comfortable with, and perhaps in the heat of the moment, I took a step too far. And,
you regret it?
You know that. I don't know that that's the way that I want to be talking in this campaign.
So that really seems to buttress what you had been saying earlier about he just doesn't necessarily have it in him. Ben said that on the Damage Report earlier this week as well.
Yeah. Nah, I hate that answer. That's backtracking and that's apologizing and that shows terrible weakness. So I loved his impeachment answer. He is incredibly strong on some of the policy issues, most of the policy issues. And he's a million times better than Ted Cruz. But our job is to call it like it is. And that's, to me, is a terrible answer.
Why is everyone so afraid of calling these people liars, right? Like you don't see it in headlines, you don't see it in reporting. If it's not a fact, it's a lie. I mean, it's one or the other. Which one is it? Why is it so, is it just emotionally so difficult?
That's a great question, and I think I have the answer, which is that in Washington, the #1 rule is you must be civil to everyone else in the elite. Now, and that's a mistake that the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia made because Khashoggi, by being a Washington Post columnist, became part of the US elite as he lived in Virginia. So dismembering and beheading people, well, Saudi Arabia actually does that fairly routinely.
All the time.
Yes, and no one cares. In Yemen, they've butchered civilians, thousands upon thousands of civilians, no one cares. You do it to the elite, whoa, you got a problem. But it's not just, I mean, what they did to him obviously was as extreme as it gets. A simple insult to the elite is considered on television and in the media to be a far greater offense than any killing of civilians abroad or anything along those lines. So lying, saying that someone is miscommunicated, okay. Maybe if you're really on the edge, prevaricated, right? Misled, right? But lying,
being obsequious,
right? But lying implies intent, bad intent, which is exactly what Ted Cruz has. So that's why you should say it. And guess what voters prefer? Well, you being honest about it and call it like it is. Voters would much rather have you say that Ted Cruz is a liar than apologize for it or call it prevarication. I mean, come on, man, don't live in the Beltway. So in the debate, he did call him a liar, that was good. But the second part of his problem with his answer right there was that, no, you actually should have backed it up throughout the debate. He said, I didn't want to keep talking about it throughout the debate. Why? You're in a debate with him. We covered the debate live for our members, right? TYT.com/join to become a member and get all those play-by-play analysis whenever those things are happening, Kavanaugh hearings, this, etc. And during that coverage, John and I were talking about, and Anna, hey, look, he just lied again. Please counter him, show how it wasn't true. And Beto kept pulling his punches, and here he is again pulling his punches. It's a terrible idea.
And it's not going to play well in Texas. It may play well in Washington, D.C., where they're like, oh, that was a very good, polite answer. But Texans aren't known for wanting to pull their punches.
Exactly right.
And they don't want someone to represent them that pulls their punches.
And that's what scares me a little bit about Beto's popularity with everyone else. And I love seeing Beto signs in the most random parts of the country, but he's got to turn out Texan voters. And Texan voters, unfortunately, are not registered in the numbers and don't turn out. They're actually the lowest voting participation rate in the country. Is Texas.
Wow. So let me show you the ad we're running in case you haven't seen it yet, because Beto's not gonna run this ad. So we decided we're gonna do it and you guys are helping fund it. And I'm gonna show you how much you guys have given so far and how much we've shown it to people in Texas so far. But here's the ad that we're running against Ted Cruz.
This is Ted Cruz. That's him phone banking for Donald Trump after Trump called his wife ugly. Look at him. What kind of a man does that? Oh yeah, Trump also said his father was probably a murderer. He made calls on behalf of Trump after being unmanned by him. You're looking at the saddest man in America, Ted Cruz 2018. Pathetic.
See, that's how you run an ad in Texas.
Do we know who took that photo? Because that person is one of the unsung American heroes.
Yeah, indeed. So tyt.com/Cruz to donate to that. So let's look at the thermometer and see how much you guys have already given. We've already started running the ads in Texas, by the way. I'm gonna tell you about that in a second. You've given $20,953 so far. 20,000, I said was, originally the goal was 10, then it was 20, now it's 25. Let's keep it going.
Let's make it 1 million.
Okay, however much it takes, because 10,000 is going on Facebook digital ads only in Texas. 10,000 is going to YouTube ads in Texas. And so far, we spent less than $1,000 warming up, figuring out how to get it to the right demographics in Texas, et cetera. And already it's reached 190,000 people. Okay, so assuming that's about $1,000 and we're gonna spend about $10,000 on Facebook, that's about 2 million people it could reach. Not bad on Facebook alone. And then you've got YouTube. So you're helping reach millions of people in Texas with that ad. So, and one of our viewers put it in a great way. He said, look, some liberals look at that ad and they get uncomfortable because that's not what liberals like to hear, like words like unmanned, et cetera. But this isn't for liberals. This is for independents in Texas. And they need to understand the problem with Ted Cruz isn't just that he's a bad guy, it's that he's weak and pathetic. And if they don't respect him, they won't vote for him. And they have no reason to respect him. All they gotta know is the reality. And when you remind him, Donald Trump said his wife was ugly, and then he went and kissed Donald Trump's ass. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below, and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.